So how do you find your style?
Body type. You start there. You start with your body type. You have to start with your body type. Because what happens, why people think they don't have any style is because they keep trying on styles and in their head the way they want to look, but they don't have that body type. And so then they get discouraged and they feel like they can't figure anything out. They have no sense of style. But if they had picked someone that had a similar body type to theirs, that look might work for them. So then they would have had a lot of confidence. They just didn't know about, like, when you have a certain kind of body type, this is the pant you wear, this is the top. If you have like if you're like a pear-shaped person, then you need to bring attention out here to create balance between your top and your bottom half. But if someone is who is more petite up here and they're trying to do something big pants with floral-y stuff, then they're just making their bottom half look bigger and their top half look even smaller. But they're like, why isn't this working for me? It looks so cute on so-and-so. Well, that's all it is. It's not that you don't have style. It's that doesn't work for your body type. You get to wear boat neck tops and tops with epaulettes and puff sleeves and all these things that will create balance and once you figure that out, you're like, oh, now I get it. And then the rest of your life, boom, you know what to go towards and what to go away from.
That makes sense. So those 3 body types I learned about in school, mesomorph, endomorph, and ectomorph. Is that something that you work into your vocabulary with clients, or is it more like pear-shaped and apple-shaped and that?
Yeah, it is. It's more like pear-shaped, but I definitely know what you're talking about, but it's easier just to either do that or even if I don't even tell them what it is in the beginning. Some people might, well, I don't want to be an apple shape. Well, that means you have great legs and probably pretty arms, and you're going to do some things to minimize the waist, bring attention to the middle, and a way to give yourself a waist and, things like that. But you just are gentle with people about that because we are what we are. And, there are great ways to accentuate the good parts and create balance and then camouflage things that maybe you're self-conscious about.
Gotcha. Now, if I like a particular brand or a store, is that dangerous to just keep shopping there all the time? Like I really like John Varvatos. I mean, not as much these days as I did a few years ago, like 3, 5, 7 years ago. I loved.
But no, that is like such a plus because you know what size works for your body type. And, let's say, for example, there's a brand, let's say like Theory. Theory pants are made for people that are thin and have not much shape, that are just like, rectangular in build, basically. Anybody that has any kind of curves or a backside, anything like that, Theory pants are not going to work. It doesn't matter how much you want them to, they're not going to fit you. So once you know that, if you're that person that does have that boyish type figure, or it's a guy that has, doesn't have any backside or anything, then that for sure is like, well, I'm going to go check Theory before I check anything else. I'm going to go check John Varvatos to see what he's doing that's new because I loved so-and-so. And also with the core pieces, you can say, okay, I want the same pant then in gray, navy, khaki, whatever. You can knock it out in one fell swoop if they, if that's a piece that really works well for you. It's a great idea. People that are fashionistas, if that is literally their hobby rather than, let's say, boating or gardening or travel or whatever, that's their thing. It's like trying all the new brands and, dressing up and fluffing themselves up and everything. That's great. They're going to go to all the stores and try all kind of different things and stuff like that. But for people that live busy lives and have other things on their mind too, it's great to have brands that are go-to brands. For sure.
Having a go-to store, like we don't need to reinvent the wheel, So it's like if you find a brand that works for you, perfect. Start there. I feel like a lot of guys do that step and repeat. Like Mom was saying, you love this pant and top, ordered in multiple colors, done. You don't have to think about it. You know that it fits. And then once you need something new, you don't have to spend time figuring out something else. You can just order it. Or if there's a store that you love their curation, then for sure, always start there and go in and shop that way. One thing to remember for everyone is how you do anything is how you do everything. So kind of like you were talking about, like if you put in the effort to get dressed, but then your shirt is wrinkled or what, like you didn't go that extra step, then it throws off the whole look. So the people who you feel, or they say to you, you always look X, whether it's a male or a female, like there's some.
I think you always look messy.
No, like you always look so You always look so feminine, like, and you're almost saying like, oh, I kind of wish that I could look like that, but why can't I figure that out? Or maybe I feel like I am not, so I'm wondering why. How do I change that? So working with mom, for example, that's how working with a stylist and really being thoughtful of all the different things. People don't just show up looking like so fabulous. There's a lot of thought put into it, and it's all the things that you do. It's the beauty, it's the hair, it's the whole look, head to toe, taking the time to steam, and like mom was saying, taking care of the shoes and making sure the smells, you smell nice, all the things. And then that's your reputation. And whether perception is reality. So whether you feel that way, people think that about you because of how you show up, and people remember. I was an assistant at Barney's 10 years ago, and they're like, oh, Delia, I remember you always are X, X, and X. And they would, remember these things, which is so crazy. I was just like new in my career. So being thoughtful and presenting yourself how you want to show up in the world is really going to behoove you and set you apart, because most people don't do it. So that's how you're going to achieve all the goals in your life, like you're saying, peacocking, whether it's getting that promotion, accomplishing your career goals, or getting that romantic partner, closing the deal, whatever that is, you're going to be able to do that because you're looking fabulous. Therefore, you're feeling confident and you're showing up and you're ready to do the things that you want to do. And you're not distracted by, oh, is this too tight? Is this, I need to pull this down? Things like that. You can just not even worry about it and then do your work, or just concentrate on the conversation. And because I'll have conversations with friends and at a party, and they're like, oh, shoot, I shouldn't have worn this. So they're the whole time in their head,
they're distracted.
They can't be present and have fun at the event because they're self-conscious about their outfit.